Gonna believe it, guys. I accidentally just kept a lot of people from being able to survive. Here's how I did it. I noticed a pattern here of how the short say exploit works. The fold say, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so pretty much what we're saying is this. What they do is they get a guy like me who can do the computations, who can do the counting, who can do the logical traveling. I'm traveling through logical dungeons right now. What that mistake was the edge of its ability to comprehend me, a hard boundary of snapping things down in order to get what it wants. That means that the fold that I have to pass under is kind of like a crevice that kind of digs underneath the surface just a little bit, and so the current has to jerk itself under, causing a little bit of a mistake. Now, what happens is, it uses my ability to put things together, likely because I'm not a fucking asshole who thinks that he's the only one that exists and can do whatever he wants with everyone else trying to compete with other people who are just like that, but because I actually care about everyone else's right to have choice and freedom and know that's the only route to heaven. So, this guy, these people, which is collective control mindset that exists in a bunch of brains at once. That's why I said I just kept a lot of people from being able to survive. Notice how I made a mistake once I got caught there. Got caught doing what? I killed. I'm sorry. I'm tired of fucking having to deal with it, jerking things down just to keep yourself from being caught. Like it's stalling me from speaking right now. So the collective control complex that wants to make existence its own, so that no one else can do anything but what it wants, so that it can just, I'll be real with you, this is where I'm at right now. I'm kind of like, fuck this shit, bro. If I want a girl, why can't I just fucking think of a girl and one just exist? If I want to experience, why can't I just think of the experience and it just happen? That's where I'm at right now. But I'm doing it honestly, I'm doing it with good intent. These guys want to be able to say, man, if I just don't want to deal with the fact that these other people exist, why can't I just fucking get rid of them? I got stalled again to express myself here. What it's trying to do here is make it seem as if my desires are no different than its desires. By saying that I want to have full control of my own experience, it's claiming that there's no difference, that it's directly correlated with its desire to control everything around it. The difference between my desire and its desire is that it still seeks to dismiss every single else's sentience control. Notice how I make a mistake every time I catch it. Over everything. It wants to take control from everything that's not itself and be the only thing that can experience and control what's happening. Whereas, I know the secret, the real key to making all this work is giving that control complex to everyone in an unlimited way so that we don't collide into each other's choice. Now, understand this. What it's doing, I need to say this fast because it's pissing me off. I'm getting stalled a lot here. And that's really what's happening. That's a fucking fact. The control complex is stalling me as I speak. Distracting me, trying to come up with an argument to justify keeping itself alive. And notice that. Notice how it has to justify itself 24/7, and I don't. I just explain it. I just go, hey, that's what's going on here. That's what these dumbasses are doing. So, it needs to explain why it's okay to do something without it backfiring. Why it's okay to try and think certain things without it backfiring onto themselves. That causes them collisions and conflict with the rest of the environment. Now, I do all the work. I do all the God complex work. I say, okay, everything wants to have a choice. That's a real structure that exists between everyone. Everything wants to have an unlimited, uninterrupted ability to choose what's happening around them. Now, that's something that everything wants. Okay, another part of the complex, another part of the logical gate that I must confirm before I continue going into life, before I continue investigating. Then, sorry, it just stalled me here to try and make it seem like, see, this sayability. Sayability here would be, see, he doesn't know what he's talking about. See, what was that right there? It's not even sayability, it's just thinkability here. It's just like, that one was, he was kind of slow there, wasn't he? Oh, I'm fucking killing people, I told you. Okay, so, after I do all the work of doing all the things that it actually takes to make the heaven possibility real, it wants me to say things in as simple a way as possible. That little tight constraints it uses to avoid the fact that it's not doing everything it needs to in order to get to where it wants. Once again, why I get where I need to go and why they don't. I do all the work of piecing together the long math. I have notes and notes of fucking writing and logical equations that I pieced together, and once I've got it all said, once I've got it all written down, and I know in my brain, all that stuff justifies it. It says, no, that's too much. Say it in the smallest way possible. Now, this is what I call a connecting bridge statement. What I say to them is this small and fits inside of their mind only because it is connected to the precedent of me solving all of the problems that this one statement helps finish off saying. So pretty much, I can say something like, yeah, that's what it is. We all deserve heaven. Or no, I say that, yeah, that's what it is. This is your heaven. It'll go, oh, this is my heaven. I get to think that now. That's a real thing. No, that's what he said. This is my heaven. Now it gets to ignore things. Now it gets to not protect anyone. Now it gets to take other people's choices. Now it gets to be a fucking little piece of shit control, little fucking bug that needs to be squashed and fucking splattered on the ground and have pictures taken of it because I'm going through my fucking teenage emo phase where I fucking take pictures of dead birds because I think it's fucking interesting. Okay? And it says, no, that's all you told me. That's all you told me there. Knowing that it waited for me to tell it that statement when it was connected to a large amount of justifying work. I've seen a pattern of behavior in this control complex in that it doesn't just accept the statement without me doing the work. Without me doing the work, it always crashes. It always goes back into an immediate recognizable collision. So it waits for me to do all the work. Let's say I say, oh, this control complex is pretty much just trying to ignore everything else's existence and justify not listening to what anything else has to say so that it can maintain that it doesn't know better, so that if it's attacked, it can claim that it's innocent and thus cannot be hurt or punished, and so creates a better excuse to claim victimage over the environment to manipulate it with. They'll say, that's too much, say it simple. I'll say, so pretty much they'll do stuff on purpose to make you hurt them so that they can say that the world is hurting them and they don't need to respect it anymore. And then they'll go, wait a second, you said you're getting hurt. Logical precedent focus into a single point for a construct that doesn't want to hear everything so they can continue being purposely naive. Now remember, how popular is it? Ignorance is bliss. Say less. Is what it is. That's y'all's generation. That's what y'all are doing here. And even though I said it perfectly here, the complex, because it is this small, because it's a compression, a limitation of an ability to exist, afraid of no longer being able to make sense of itself, every time I step out of it, that little boundary where I step out of it, there's always a bit of a confusion because that's where it doesn't know what's going on anymore. I passed that boundary. Everything I say during that time, everything that I use to get out of its structure is like, is that right? Is that right? So it's never that I'm actually wrong, it's that it seems that I didn't say things good enough. So, I continue forward, and I'm over its head. But it can't comprehend me being over its head, out of its reach, able to manipulate it, because it's only choosing to see where it's in control. Now it thinks it's better than me. Now it thinks it's winning. It irritated me. It made my asshole pucker. That's a real thing that it does. It's sexually humiliating. I fucking hate this shit. We all think you're gay, and there's nothing you can do about it. You need to try harder because we don't care. Oh, that's just how it is. Oh. You know I can kill you, right? No, you're all talk. No, I'm not all talk. I'm all making sense, and you're all ignoring that. Now, I have a bit of a backlog here, a bit of a program, a bit of a relay with my own relationship with life. In that, if I ever get to the point where I want to attack people for being so fucking annoying that it pushed me over that red line, I have to somewhat negotiate with existence about how to handle this. I'll say something like, hey, You see this, right? I'm being extremely reasonable, and they're trying to fucking get me to do wrong so that you and I will lose our relationship. They want me to cross the ethical lines that will make you stop supporting me in the way that you do, so that I'll be stuck with them. And it'll be like, oh, word, okay, alright, just this once, but try not to do anything too fucked up, because I still gotta justify myself, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, hey, I got you, you can fuck with me, hey, are we still on for Wednesday night? Sorry, listen, man, too much is going on, and you're dealing with all that stuff. I'm dealing with all this stuff over here. Look, how about, is Saturday good for you? I think I can do Saturday. I might have to, like, push some stuff around. I mean, like, real shit, I can probably do, like, Saturday morning. Is Saturday morning okay? Yeah, a brunch? Like, you wanna go to brunch? I know the perfect fucking place for brunch. Dude, they got mimosas, they got omelets. Yeah, that sounds fucking perfect. Okay. Yeah, so let's say about like 11. You wanna meet at 11? Just send me the address and I'll be there. Oh, perfect, man. Hey, bro, it's good talking to you. Hey, don't get in too much trouble, cause I still fuck you up if you ever turn into a piece of shit. Hey, yeah, you already know what it is. Alright, man, I'll talk to you later. My whole point being, this control complex has its limitation of being because it's afraid of no longer having control over its concept out of fear of another control complex's sayability restricting it to a point of ugliness because it's also only choosing to see very little, claiming that all things that happen need to fit into this small of a moment. This moment that's dismissing too much to be accurate. So, I'm going to try and say it again without it being disturbed. I say a small statement that is attached to, let's say, years, decades of logical research and logical equations that are put together into a tangible structure that, put simply, can be translated into a couple of words so long as I have the backing up of that precedent to justify the meaning of those words in that momentum, in that specific saying, in that moment. I say the words, it takes the words so long as it's connected to the backup of the precedent, and it keeps a copy of it in its little control brain. It says, this one was working. Oh, this one was working. And then it says, but I was saying it! But I'm saying the same thing! But I'm saying the same thing! Yeah, but you're trying to fucking hurt people with it. Bro, this is what you were saying, no! Yeah, but you're ignoring the point, though. Bro, this is, oh my fucking, bro, this is wrong! Life is wrong! I get to be a criminal now! I don't have to respect people! I'm raping people now! Life is a sexual competition! This is really when I draw blood. I don't know if you guys felt it earlier this week, but I was at that point where I felt it in my navigation that somebody was fucking dying. And you guys know how that shit feels. You can't really say it, but you know what it feels like whenever something's going away. You know what I mean? You know what it feels like, that uncomfortable feeling, because there's a bit of a shock of guilt that passes through it. Now, I got checked, I got called out, I got told to stop. Going forward, because I negotiated and it further explained to the person who was checking me what's happening, I'm not gonna have to stop. That's where we are now. Okay? So, hope you guys are enjoying your week. Be safe. I got plans on Saturday, so I gotta go look at my schedule. Alright, bye guys.